What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to predict every week 4 game for college football. I'm going to go through each top 25 game, predict the score as well as the spreads and the over-unders. But before we get into predicting the upcoming games for this week, let's look at how I did last week. Last week had a lot of highs and lows. Overall, I picked a couple of upsets that I'm proud of. Overall, I went 19-2. I had a pretty good week picking straight up games. But against the spread, it was a tough week. I went 7-14. There were a lot of games that just seemed like they were going to hit, but they never did. I don't understand how Oregon didn't cover in some of the other ones, but we'll bounce back. And on the over-unders, I stay consistent above 500, 12-9. But without further ado, let's get into predicting the week 4 games. We have a big top 25 matchup Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time between number 16 Utah and number 17 Texas Tech. I'm looking forward to this game, and this could be a potential preview of the Big 12 title. Both of these teams have had very good quarterback play. Byron Morton, the veteran quarterback for Texas Tech, is already close to surpassing 1,000 yards on the season. He's thrown 11 touchdowns. Texas Tech has a lot of weapons at wide receiver, and it showed when they torched that Oregon State secondary. Morton went for over 400 passing yards last week in a big win. But they play a much better defense and a tough test for them on the road. And I think Utah has the advantage at quarterback with Devin Dampier. Not only is he a problem passing the ball, but this dude is a monster on the ground. They're going to use him to his full ability in this game at home. I think Utah will find a way to control the clock and run the ball well. And personally, I trust their defense, and I trust them in this home spot. Utah does not lose at home that much. I like both these teams. I think they could go far, but I am going to take this Utah team. I expect Devin Dampier to have a very clutch game. And watch out for him in the Heisman race. Give me the Utes in this game 30-27. I will take Texas Tech plus 4.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 15 Tennessee versus UAB, Saturday 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Nothing much to say about this game. I expect Tennessee to come out and score 50, 60, maybe even 70 points. With the way the offense has been playing, I expect a blowout. UAB has not been great under Trent Dilfer. Give me Joey Aguilar and that Tennessee offense to keep rolling. I'm taking number 15 Tennessee 59-14 in this game. Definitely covering the spread, and I have the over for this game. The next game is number 6 Oregon versus Oregon State, Saturday 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Oregon managed to not cover after 2 garbage time touchdowns last week against Northwestern, but they have this game back at home, and Oregon State has looked atrocious. At least Northwestern has an okay defense. Oregon State has looked so bad in the secondary. Oregon is going to torch Oregon State in this game. It won't be close. The only bright spot for Oregon State is quarterback Malik Murphy. He makes some good throws, but he's also thrown some turnovers. Oregon will probably have a lot of turnovers in this game. I think they bounce back and win it big. Give me Oregon 52-10. I think they will cover this week, cover at minus 34.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 7 Florida State versus Kent State. Florida State put up 77 points against an alright East Texas A&M squad 2 weeks ago. With the way that offense has been playing, I expect them to win this game big and easily cover. Kent State might be the worst FBS team again. They got blown out by Texas Tech, and they just don't have much going for them. Look for a Florida State blowout in this game. They're proving a point. Kent State will not be able to stop that Florida State offense led by Thomas Castellanos. Give me Florida State 66-3. I have them covering the minus 42.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 11 Oklahoma versus number 22 Auburn. I'm looking forward to this game. It will be played Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oklahoma has another top 25 matchup, and they get it at home. This defense is number 1 in scoring defense and yards per game right now in the SEC. This is a legit Oklahoma defense. And I know they only played Michigan, but they dominated Bryce Underwood. He went under 50% completion percentage. They couldn't pass the ball. Jackson Arnold has looked alright this year. He can use his legs, but this is going to be a different test for Jackson Arnold. And Jackson Arnold played quarterback for Oklahoma last season. I do believe Oklahoma's defense will know how to stop Jackson Arnold. Oklahoma's defense will just be too much for Auburn. They're going to be able to stop the quarterback run or at least contain it. And I just don't think Auburn has what it takes to get this one on the road. I am very high on Oklahoma's defense, and they might have the best quarterback in the nation in John Mateer. Give me Oklahoma to win this game 31-19 at home. I think they cover minus 6.5, and I have the over for this game. The next game is number 13 Ole Miss versus Tulane, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Ole Miss could walk away with another one-possession win and they could be 4-0. Both Ole Miss and Tulane have showed some good things, but they have been sneaking away. Tulane managed to beat Duke in a close game last week. I guess it wasn't really close until the end of the game, but they did sneak by South Alabama 2 weeks ago. Ole Miss has snuck by Kentucky and Arkansas, but a win is a win, and that Ole Miss offense has looked super electric. The backup quarterback stepped up last week, and he was a very good quarterback for them. Not only was he efficient passing the ball, but he made work with his legs. Watch out for him to get more playing time this year. I don't know if Austin Simmons will be back in this game, but regardless, I think Tulane falls in this game on the road at a decent Ole Miss team. Look for a lot of offense in this game, but Ole Miss is just way more talented. This is Tulane's big test of the year. Give me Ole Miss to get it done 38-28. I think Tulane will find a way to cover though, plus 12.5. Ole Miss has some holes on defense and Red Staff is going to be able to make work, and I am taking the over for this game. The next game is Nebraska versus number 21 Michigan. This game will be played Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Look for a bounce back with Bryce Underwood in this game. He had a very bad game against Oklahoma, but Nebraska doesn't have the same defense as Oklahoma. This is a defense that lost some key pieces and defensive coordinator Tony White to Florida State, but ultimately this is another tough road test. Nebraska has looked very good through the last couple of weeks and they had that solid win in week 1 over Cincinnati. Nebraska's a tough team to beat at their place, and I just think Dylan Raiola is more prepared for this stage than Bryce Underwood is. I think Nebraska has more offensive firepower this season, and I like them at home in this spot. Give me Nebraska 27-20, covering +3 outright winning this game, and I'm taking the over. The next game is number 24 Notre Dame versus Purdue. This game will be played Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Look for a big bounce back for Notre Dame. They cleaned a lot of things up last week on offense at least. They put up 40 points. CJ Carr looked very good. But when it mattered the most, they could not get stops. Marcel Reed played lights out. The offense played its best game of the year for Texas A&M. I think that Texas A&M offense is legit. It could take them far this year. And Notre Dame starting 0-2 is not what you love to see. But don't count them out. If they go 10-2, they have a shot at the playoffs. And they could run the table. They did it last season. Why can't they do it again? Personally, I think they get back on the right track. Purdue is not a great team. Look for that Notre Dame offense to get rolling in this game. I'm taking Notre Dame 45-14, covering -26.5, and I have the over for this game. The next game is number 18 Georgia Tech versus Temple. This game will be played Saturday 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I was kind of expecting a sneak cover for Temple last week against Oklahoma, but I should have known better. And this week, I'm just going to take Georgia Tech straight up to win this game big. I know Georgia Tech sometimes comes out slow against these bad teams. Some bad football teams can compete with Georgia Tech, but then Georgia Tech can go and compete with a Georgia or beat Clemson. This is just how Georgia Tech is. But I am going to say with Haynes King playing, I think they win against Temple. They have it at home. I think they win it big, 38-10, covering -23.5, and I have the under. The next game is number 23 Missouri versus South Carolina, Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I am honestly expecting a lopsided game in this one. Lenore Sellers had a concussion. I am assuming he's going to be out for this game. And look, Lenore Sellers is 90-something% of that South Carolina offense. Without him, I don't see them doing much offensively. And this is a very good Missouri offense. And South Carolina showed that they have some holes in the pass and defense against Vanderbilt. Missouri's offense has looked very electric, and they got some very good transfers. They have it at home in a nice spot. I expect Missouri to win this game big, 34-10. Give me Missouri -12.5, and I have the under in this game. The next game is number 4 Miami versus Florida. This game will be played Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Look, I think this is going to be a similar game to last year. Miami's going to dominate the line of scrimmage, and they're going to win it. LSU wasn't able to take the game away against Florida. They just didn't have enough on offense, but that defense dominated. And Miami has shown this year that their offense is much more explosive. They put up 49 points against South Florida. Carson Beck is back in his comfort zone, and that offense is looking good. Shannon Dawson is a very good offensive coordinator, and he needs more respect on his name. Florida just has not figured it out, and after DJ Lagway throwing 5 interceptions, his confidence might be hurt a little bit. This is a tough one on the road for them. I expect Miami to win this one big, 38-17. I'm taking Miami minus 7.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 19 Indiana versus number 9 Illinois. This game will be played Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is a crucial game in the Big Ten playoff race. The winner of this game could be a favorite in the Big Ten to make the playoffs. And if you lose this game, you have a tough road ahead for both these teams, especially Indiana, because you have to play both Oregon and Penn State, and if you have 3 losses, you are not making the playoffs. But look, Curt Cignetti is yet to get that big win at Indiana, and I think this is the chance to do it against a solid top 10 Illinois squad. They have it at home Saturday night. I think Curt Cignetti is ready for this moment. This isn't a game where the line of scrimmage is going to get dominated and there's just too much talent on the other side of the ball. I think Indiana will be even better this year, definitely on defense, and Fernando Mendoza's looking nice at quarterback. The offense is picking it up. Look for Indiana to win this game, and I'm taking them to win it at home. Give me Indiana 28-23. Give me Illinois with a sneaky cover plus 5.5, and I have the under. We then move on to the next game, number 20 Vanderbilt versus Georgia State, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Last year, Vanderbilt dropped this game, but I think this is a much more consistent Vanderbilt team this year, and I think they're even better this year. And they have it at home, and I think that offense is just rolling right now. After putting up 40 points against Virginia Tech and 30 against South Carolina, Pavia is going on a Heisman run. Georgia State is not a great team. I don't expect another fluke win for them. I think Vanderbilt avenges their loss from last season in a big way. Give me Vanderbilt 45-13, covering minus 26.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 3 LSU versus Southeastern Louisiana. This is another cupcake game for LSU. I'm not going to talk about this game much. Look for LSU to get their offense going a little bit more in this game. It should be a shutout. That defense is elite. Give me LSU 45-0. The next game is number 8 Texas versus Sam Houston, Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A weird spot for a game for an SEC team, especially when you're only playing Sam Houston. Texas will continue to get a little bit better and better each week, but I think they'll manage to fail to cover again. Give me Texas 45-7, but I'm taking Sam Houston plus 41.5, and I have the over for this game. And finally, we are on to the last top 25 matchup of Week 4. A game that might be flying under the radar. It could be one of the best games this week. Number 25 USC will play Michigan State in a night game Saturday 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Look for a lot of offense in this game. That Michigan State offense has looked a lot better. Aiden Childs is not turning the ball over, and I think USC still has some question marks on defense after watching them through the first couple of weeks. We'll see how USC can do this year. I still have a lot of questions. They might be able to turn it up. Maybe they go 9-3, 10-2, compete for a playoff spot. But I think this is a tricky one for USC. Michigan State's undefeated. I think they come into this game fired up. I think Michigan State has a very good performance on offense. But ultimately, give me that USC home field advantage and that talent. Give me USC 37-31, but plus 16.5 for Michigan State. That's just way too high of a spread, and I have the over for this game. But anyways, that is going to do it for my Week 4 picks and predictions for every top 25 game. You guys leave some of your predictions down in the comments below. And let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content. And we basically cover everything on this channel, so definitely consider subscribing. And also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.